Would you wear all your favorite hats at the same time? Well, we wouldn't either. That is why we suggest you use only what you need. Switch off all electrical appliances and lights in our newsrooms. Remember, use only what you need and save power today. Switch and save. Zesco, powering the nation.
Apple Max. Take it to the max.
Want to just get out of town with your friends and family? Are you having a corporate getaway and have no adequate transport? Then this here is what you need to listen to. A brand new 35-seater Yutong luxury bus is now up for hire at an affordable and negotiable rate. It comes fully equipped with aircon, TV for your relaxation, music soothing your trip, and DVD players to give you variety. Book now by calling 0955 0966 or 977 844 141.
What makes the new Yo-Yo Chipsy so unique? 100% natural ingredients. Nothing artificial. Just a pure experience of freshness. Chipsy potato chips. We know you'll love them.
Hey girl, what's your name? Let me talk to you for just a minute. Where you live and what you like to do?
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
Okay, I'm just trying to get with someone real, cause you look so free. So let's chill, have a drink with a guy like me.
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
A quality product from Californian Beverages.
Beer Jungle.
A warm welcome to Prime Television's main news. My name is Mathana Manje. To present the bulletin, we take a look at stories making headlines. Green Party supporters caught with fake voters' cards and other people's NRCs. Cabinet passes vote of no confidence in acting President Guy Scott. Filing in of presidential nomination commences in readiness for elections, and hundreds of M23 rebels escape repatriation. Those are the headlines in the news. Join me shortly with the details. So much for staying tuned. And now the menus in detail. Green Party supporters on Wednesday afternoon caused drama at the Supreme Court when they were caught with fake voters' cards and national registration cards (NRC). The supporters were caught trying to register as members of the Green Party when in fact not. They could not be allowed to proceed to be screened to add up to the required 200 membership for the party president to file for nomination. But by press time, the president of Green Party of Zambia, Peter Sinkamba, was not present at the scheduled time, as he could not be reached by phone as his phone went unanswered. However, Green Party President Peter Sinkamba successfully filed in his nomination after he managed to organize the 200 supporters.
Green Party of Zambia supporters were caught with fake voters' cards and national registration cards during a screener process in readiness of filing in of nominations by their party president. The supporters were screened as they attempted to register as Green Party members to add up to the required number. One of those caught red-handed was Messi Tembo, who had fake voters' cards and someone else's NRC, and this is what transpired.
Maimo muna voters card yanu na regi yanu?
Regi yanga ninayo voters card sinzi wakamenye.
Oh. Maimo voters card na voters card yabene?
Nanyamula chabeni yaba mami, nanyamula cha.
Bakubere kankoni?
Weswara bwereke nanyamula chabe swenzi batuza kutini bwanja kama TNT kwelani mubasi TNT ngani ma voters card na cha.
Mwezi mwazi wabemboro chita kono?
Mwezi mwazi wavane mbwerera kono?
Bati maso kuziga mabuzo atumbwerera sana.
Imo bra t-shirt. Nanga bampasa t-shirt.
T-shirt. Watu pasita panje.
Mura Green Party.
And a neighbor to Messi, Nancy Mpikwa, had revealed that she was the one holding the documents and did not know which party she belongs to. She says she was only picked by a man known as a Mr. Piri, who was a coordinator for the Green Party, to come for nominations.
Somula musungira reji.
Nasunga mareji abana bandi. Nomba barayishwa kushya kufintu ifi.
Bati niwe batishani kwa kwesako.
Bachi tusenda fati twende nikai.
Mapiri ni wanani?
Ba coordinator ba kuno kuineka tuishi fine vya nani?
Tewe ba bachingati bara mipira mashinga. Upazo ni mashinga.
Tapari nshishana ngfefi moini.
Kati shati mukwele mami.
Bampere fiapo. Ili pareji.
With such a case coming up just on the first day of nominations, one wonders how many of these cases might follow in the coming nomination days. Gwen Wheeler reporting for Prime TV News in Lusaka.
Meanwhile, filing in of presidential nominations had commenced in readiness for presidential elections next January. Forum for Democratic Alternatives FDA President Ludwig Sondersch was the first to file in his nomination at the Supreme Court. After successfully filing in his nomination, Dr. Sondersch asked the people to vote for him because he has a vision for Zambia. He has promised to give people a constitution and reintroduce the federal system of governance. Dr. Sondersch promised to liberate Zambia and give people what they have asked for in the past years.
I would like to ask people of Zambia to vote for me because I'm the leader with a vision, and my record of having served in government for 35 years without any blemish of corruption or anything, doing anything bad at all, speaks for itself.
The Jesuit Center for Theological Reflections, JCTR, has questioned government over the $168 million it borrowed to set up a mini hydropower station in Mwilunga district of Northwestern Province. JCTR coordinator Geoffrey Shongo has challenged government to tell the nation where the money has been channeled, as the people in the province are anxiously waiting for the promised project. Mr. Shongo said this in Solwezi district recently during a stakeholders accountability workshop organized by Diaconia. He stated that the power station was intended to benefit the Tabo Mission Hospital, which is currently operating under solar system.
Where government borrowed money to put up a mini hydroelectricity plant in that area, a plant that was going to supply electricity to the local hospital. There's a big mission hospital there. It has got ICU facilities, but it can't function. The facilities can't function because it runs on a generator. Okay? So we are very happy to hear that the government borrowed money to put up a mini hydroelectricity plant. Now, this money was borrowed in 2008. We started monitoring the project in 2011. Nothing had happened. Actually, community members didn't know that there was such a project. And when they heard about the project, they were so upset.
But Northwestern Province Minister Nathaniel Mukwano announced that the project will resume soon, adding that it was temporarily halted as a result of President Michael Sata's death. He acknowledged the need for the power plant in the area to mitigate the power deficit in the province.
By now, already commissioned officially, the $163 million US dollar grid extension project for the Northwestern Province, hadn't it been for the demise of our late president. This project is going to see power extended to all the 9 districts in the province. Because at the moment, out of the 9 districts, only 2 are connected to the national grid. The rest are on standalone generators. And power supply to these districts has not been very stable and steady. So you know what kind of change that this will bring in the lives of our people once fully commissioned.
Police in Choma district of Southern Province have arrested 2 men in connection with the death of a 76-year-old white farmer who was shot dead on Thursday last week. Police say the arrested men are helping them with investigations with regards to the shooting of the farmer. Mr. Walker, who has lived in Choma for the past 47 years, died on the spot at his farm due to gunshot wounds he sustained. Southern Province Police Commissioner Mary Chikwanda has confirmed the development in a telephone interview. Armed bandits shot and killed Mr. Walker, 76, on Thursday last week around 20 hours at his farm. You are watching Prime Television's main news. Before we take a break, here are the local headlines once again. Green Party supporters caught with fake voters' cards and other people's NRCs. Cabinet passes a vote of no confidence in acting President Guy Scott. Filing in of presidential nomination commences in readiness for elections. Join me after the break with more news.
Would you wear all your favorite hats at the same time? Well, we wouldn't either. That is why we suggest you use only what you need. Switch off all electrical appliances and lights in unused rooms. Remember, use only what you need and save power today. Switch and save. Zesco, powering the nation.
What's your name? Let me talk to you for just a minute. Where you live and what you like to do?
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
Okay, I'm just trying to get with someone real cause you look so free. So let's chill, have a drink with a guy like me.
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
A quality product from Californian Beverages.
We now continue with the Prime Television's main news. Cabinet has passed a vote of no confidence in acting President Dr. Guy Scott and has with immediate effect asked him to resign from his position. Reading a signed statement on behalf of other ministers, Foreign Affairs Minister Harry Kalaba says the actions of Dr. Scott are a threat to national security and they have since informed the Central Committee of the PF on their decision. He says as cabinet ministers they have decided to express a vote of no confidence in the leadership of Dr. Scott to carry out the remaining term of the transition. We have more in the following report.
Serious trouble has resurfaced within PF as 14 cabinet ministers have passed a vote of no confidence in the acting president Dr. Guy Scott and have proposed for his immediate removal. The action by the ministers follows a letter written by Dr. Scott requesting Chief Justice Lombe Chibesakunda not to accept PF nomination on Saturday. At a briefing held in Lusaka, Foreign Affairs Minister Harry Kalaba says Dr. Scott has expressed disregard for Cabinet and PF as a party.
The confidence and trust we reposed in Dr. Scott was totally misplaced, and he has since abused our trust and confidence repeatedly. And as Cabinet Ministers, we have noted that Dr. Scott has persistently worked against the interests of the party that sponsored him as a Member of Parliament and allows him to be Vice President of the country and subsequently as Acting President. Dr. Scott's actions have clearly been inimical to the interests of the nation. His actions have the potential to stoke instability in a nation that has been anchored on peace and profound human fellowship. We urge Dr. Scott to immediately resign from his position as acting Republican President on moral grounds. As Cabinet Ministers, we have decided to express a clear vote of no confidence in his leadership and in his ability to carry out the remaining duration of the transition. By virtue of this statement, the ministers are informing the Central Committee of the Patriotic Front of the vote of no confidence against Dr. Guy Scott and are advised to take notice of our decision. Further, there is need for Cabinet to convene with due immediacy to discuss the replacement of Dr. Guy Scott as acting President of the Republic of Zambia.
The move by Cabinet was supported by about 14 Cabinet ministers who have signed in support on a vote of no confidence in Dr. Scott. PF still remains a troubled party ahead of elections next month, and this has put the party in a very difficult situation in the coming elections. Gwen Wheeler reporting for Prime TV News in Lusaka.
But acting President Guy Scott has refused to resign, adding that he will not be blackmailed by people trying to use government resources. Dr. Scott says cabinet ministers purporting to convene a cabinet meeting will commit treason. He says there is no law that allows a group of ministers to make such a demand of asking the party president to resign. Dr. Scott says it is only he or the vice president that can convene and chair a cabinet meeting. He says during the transition period he will continue to act as president and he will not allow any abuse of public resources for partisan interests. PF Mandevu Constituency Ward 21 Chairman Emmanuel Muwanga has denounced calls by some opposition political parties and the civil society to have PF President Edgar Lungu relinquish his ministerial positions. Mr. Muwanga says there is nothing wrong with Mr. Lungu to continue working as Justice and Defense Minister, adding that his ministerial positions have no impact on his presidency. He has called on opposition political parties to concentrate on building their parties. Recently, Forum for Democracy and Development (FDD) called on PF President to relinquish his positions as Justice and Defense Minister following his election as party president and PF presidential candidate in the forthcoming presidential election.
We have taken towards Senior Counsel Edgar Lungu, who is the president for Patriotic Front. They are saying that he should relinquish his position as the Minister of Defense and also Justice. But there's a precedence for that. You know, when you look behind, when His Excellency President Mwanawasa died, may he so rest in peace, RB then was acting president and vice president of the country. No one was calling for RB to relinquish his position as acting president as well as vice president. So he went on until the elections were called, and he went on and continued to campaign. So what has changed now that Edgar Lungu is holding that position, which they are calling him to relinquish? I should think they should just concentrate on what they are doing.
You're still watching Prime Television's main news with me, Martha Namanje. Join me after the break with a roundup of international news and sports news.
Apple Max. Take it to the max.
What makes the new Yo-Yo Chipsy so unique? 100% natural ingredients. Nothing artificial. Just a pure experience of freshness. Chipsy potato chips. We know you'll love them.
And now in international news, about 1,000 former fighters from the Democratic Republic of Congo's rebel group M23 have escaped from a camp in Uganda where they were being held as soldiers tried to repatriate them, the Ugandan army has said. The rebels escaped from the camp about 300 kilometers southwest of Ugandan capital Kampala as they feared for their safety if they were sent back to the Democratic Republic of Congo, a Ugandan army spokesperson said. A Ugandan officer speaking to AFP news agency on conditions of anonymity admitted the operations had encountered resistance and confirmed that several in the camp were wounded by bullets. The Ugandan army said the camp had been holding 1,373 soldiers from the M23 fighters. African leaders have urged the West to intervene in the crisis-hit Libya and prevent instability from spreading across fragile regional governments. Speaking at an African Security summit in Senegal on Tuesday. Leaders from Libya's neighbors called on NATO to help stem the flow of weapons to armed groups in the region. Libya has been involved in political infighting and violence, with two rival governments trying to fill the political void in the country. For more on these and other international stories, we now monitor Al Jazeera.
Branch of Kabul Bank in Afghanistan's Helmand province has been attacked by a number of gunmen. There were at least 2 explosions and the attackers have entered the bank. Pakistani Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif has decided to lift a ban on death penalties for prisoners who are facing terror-related charges. This follows the Taliban's attack on a school in Peshawar that killed 141 people on Tuesday. 3 days of mourning has started, and Sharif has also called on the army to step up the offensive against the Taliban. Iraq's military has reportedly begun arming over 1,000 fighters in Anbar province to help in the war against ISIL. Activists uploaded these images of the aftermath of recent fighting with ISIL gunmen close to Ramadi, the capital of Anbar province. The defense ministry says Sunni fighters have been given medium and light weapons after U.S. advisors completed their training course in a military base. The U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry has met the chief Palestinian negotiator Saeb Erekat and members of the Arab League. The Palestinians are pushing for a resolution by the UN Security Council calling for an end to Israel's occupation of Palestinian lands. Low-cost Indian airline SpiceJet has grounded its fleet after oil companies refuse to give the airline fuel to power its planes. Thousands of passengers have been stranded across India. SpiceJet is having severe financial difficulties. Russia's currency is still falling despite the central bank's attempts to prop it up by selling dollars in the foreign exchange market. Western sanctions over the crisis in Ukraine and falling oil prices have hit the ruble hard. It's down 50% this year.
In sports. Sports Minister Chishimba Kambwili says government is ready to evacuate national team players who got injured in a road traffic accident on Sunday. Kambwili says government is concerned with the welfare of the injured players and will ensure they receive the best medical services. He encouraged the players not to lose hope but embrace a positive attitude, believing that they will play football again. Kambwili said this when he visited Lusaka Trust Hospital, where Nyambe Mulenga and Zesco United club staff are receiving treatment, and the University Teaching Hospital where Changwe Kalale is being treated. And Precious Mulenga, wife to Nyambe Mulenga, thanked Kambwili for the support and expressed confidence that her husband will get back to the pitch.
They are your degrees and your diplomas. So we are going to do everything possible because you had an accident while we were on 12 duty. If they can't do it at Italian hospital, we'll have to evacuate you to any hospital where they can make sure that you are back on the football pitch again. So if you have any problem or your parents have any problems in terms of treatment, let me know as quickly as possible so that you can come in. And that's why I've come to see you, to assure you that we'll do everything possible and not let you down. So I can only wish you all the best, because I'm rushing to Kabwe to go and give the Youth Empowerment Fund. I've not been in town since the accident happened. The very day I came to Kabwe Mine Hospital, and I just came when we were evacuated to Lusaka.
For the condition is responding well to the treatment. And for the visit of the Vice President and the Sports Minister. It's a privilege to us as a family. And also will be well, and I know you will get back to his foot again.
Meanwhile, mother to Changwe Kalale expressed concern over reports that her son, who turned 17 years today, was paralyzed. She has urged the media through the minister to ensure that the media report the truth about the condition of her son. Nyambe Mulenga, Changwe Kalale and Zesco United Club staff were injured when a Toyota Hiace minibus they were traveling in collided with an oncoming Toyota Prado on Great North Road in Lusaka on Sunday.
One days before reporting or taking information from the name to report the truth. Yeah, because the way it has been written in the newspaper, they're saying is the family at large.
She was offended.
Yeah, and some started coming.
So you know how the Post newspaper sometimes reports, not only the Post newspaper, these journalists sometimes become very happy. Sometimes they want to sell the newspaper, but I think the young man is okay.
The father is
We can only wish the boys a quick recovery. As we end the news, here now are the headlines again. Green Party supporters caught with fake voters' cards and other people's NRCs. Cabinet passes a vote of no confidence in acting President Dr. Guy Scott. Filing in of presidential nomination commences in readiness for elections. And finally, hundreds of M23 rebels escape repatriation. That's all we had on our main news bulletin. My name is Mathana Manje, and on behalf of the entire news production team, it's goodbye for now and God bless.
You see, I have never fought with a lion. I have never hunted through the forest in pursuit of food, but I do have the fighting spirit. Because for decades, my people fought for freedom. And in 1964, we won. I love to do the Fwemba, the Kalela, the Kwasa Kwasa. I wear chitenge. So does my girlfriend. I eat crisps, not crisps. I love Nsima, Kapenta, Chihuahua, Delele. I'm Josh, and I'm proud to be Zambian.
iConnect, celebrating 50 years of Zambia's independence. Hashtag OnlyPazed. iConnect, make it happen.
Hey girl, what's your name? Let me talk to you for just a minute. Where you live and what you like to do?
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
Okay, I'm just trying to get with someone real cause you look so free. So let's chill, have a drink with a guy like me.
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
A quality product from Californian Beverages.
Potato sticks, freaky fries. Get that awesome crunch.
Would you wear all your favorite hats at the same time? Well, we wouldn't either. That is why we suggest you use only what you need. Switch off all electrical appliances and lights in unused rooms. Remember, use only what you need and save power today. Switch and save. ZESCO, powering the nation.